guys, and welcome back to my kitchen. It is carnival season time here in the island and everyone is making malsadas and sonhos. Today I'm going to show you how I make sonhos. It's a little carnival donut that we make here in the island. It's very hollow inside and it's very soft, and we eat this with our typical sugarcane honey that I've talked to you about before. So let me show you how I make this recipe.
So to start off this recipe, you're going to need a pan and you need to put it on a hob, about medium high heat. And you're going to add to this 500 ml of water. You're also going to add a pinch of salt or a teaspoon of salt. 1 whole lemon zest. 1 stick of cinnamon. And 200 grams of butter. Okay? I'm going to let all of this melt before let it boil for a little bit. As you can see, mine is already boiling. The butter is melted. And it's beginning to get really hot now. So what you want to do here is you want to reduce your heat a little bit because you want to cook your flour in this water. So I've reduced mine. What you need to do is take the cinnamon stick out. So let's get this out. And now we're going to add our flour in. Just go in with the whole 400 grams of flour, okay? You want to mix it in this water until you get one big lump of dough. And this dough needs to be sticking off your pan. So as you can see, it goes into this bowl, but you need to keep working the dough until you see no flour whatsoever in your dough before you take it off the stove. Okay, this should be good to go.
You can see after you've stirred it for a little bit, it should be like a big lump of dough and it should be sticking off your pan. So I've stirred mine in. These spoons, this silicone spoon really helps. So I've stirred mine in for a little bit and sort of worked the dough into the water until all the flour just disappears into this bowl. So I'm going to show you. It should look a little like this. It's all off your pan. It's just one big dough, right? So with your silicone spoon, what you want to do is just spread it out in your pan so it cools. This dough cools down, because you're going to need to add 8 eggs to this dough, and it needs to be cool, and only when it's cool can you add in your eggs. I suggest you do this 2 ways. You can do it with a spoon and just add 1 egg at a time and you work the egg into the dough, or if you have a mixer, you can use your mixer with your dough hook. Okay, I'm going to do mine with the mixer because it's easier and it's quicker and you don't tire your hands so easily. Okay, so I'll see you in the next step. So I've transferred the dough to my mixer and it's been resting for about 10 minutes. So it's nice and cool now. And I'm going to stick my finger in there so you can see it's just so together. It's nice and soft, right? So now you're going to start adding your eggs. I'm going to start with 1 at a time. So let's go for this. All right, that's 1. And I'm going to put my mixer down. And I'm going to start slowly. As you can see, the dough starts breaking down. So I'm going to show you See, it really breaks down. So you just want to add thoroughly 1 egg at a time. So once I've taken the dough out of my mixer, this is the consistency that you need, right? I told you I had used 8 eggs, but for this one I only used 6, and that's because I had medium eggs. If you have small eggs, go ahead and use the 8s, but because I was using medium eggs, I've only used 6, okay? So you're going to need also a pan with oil, and you need to let this oil be really hot. Okay, just a little tip, you don't need the oil to be boiling hot. Otherwise, what it's going to do, it's going to burn your donut and it's not going to cook through. You don't want it to be cold or warmish and it's going to get your donut soggy. So you want an in-between, around 180 degrees maybe. And you only want to add about 6 at a time because they start growing inside the pan and they roll on themselves. So let me put this oil on and I'll show you how we make these.
So my oil is beginning to bubble. How you test out that the oil's okay? Grab yourself 2 spoons, right? You don't want to put the full spoon. You want half a spoon, so like so. And with the other spoon, you just scoop it up. And then with the other one, you drop it in, right? So as you can tell, it's really beginning to bubble now. That should be all right to go. I've got this oil at 200 degrees at the moment. So I'm going to add about 6 in, right? So I'm going to scoop again. And I'm going to drop. So you don't need to get your hands dirty at all.
160, that should be okay. And they're beginning to turn. So as you can see, they're nice and golden brown. They're ready to come off the pan. So we're going to get these into a tray or a rack so they can rest for a little bit. And we're going to make the rest of them. So here we go, you guys. I've finished, and this is our carnival donuts. I'm going to open them and I'm going to show you inside what they look like, right? They're like that. Donutty and fluffy, okay? So these, I'll have to have them with what we was talked about, our sugarcane honey, right? So let's pour some over our donuts and have a go. Right? I'm gonna go with this one. These are fantastic. Really tasty. It tastes of the lemon zest and the cinnamon, and they're really fluffy and they melt in your mouth. With this honey, it's amazing. Remember, if you do not have sugarcane honey, you can always use molasses, okay? Do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time.